Thank you for joining us today for one of our Instagram Live Ask Us Anything. My name is Elenna and I'm one of the undergraduate admissions counselors at our Boston campus, and I'm here with my colleague Brian.
Hi everybody, my name is Brian Cohen. I'm also one of our counselors here at our Boston campus. I read applications for Rhode Island, Norfolk County, Massachusetts, and for Texas.
Awesome, and I'm the counselor for the state of New Hampshire, Vermont, and Middlesex County, Massachusetts. So if you're from either of our regions, welcome. Thank you for tuning in today. For those of you joining in the chat, feel free to drop any questions that you have at this time, whether it be about admissions requirements, next steps, visit opportunities. We're hoping to really cover any and all questions that you have at this time. We're at a really exciting time in the year where we are coming up on a couple different admitted student visit opportunities. So for those of you who have received your admittance from MCPHS, congratulations. We hope you're really excited and are interested in visiting our campus. In the next few weeks and months, we have numerous visit opportunities, so definitely log into your admissions portal as well as viewing our website, or even coming into this admissions page. In the links in the bio, you should be able to sign up for any of these visit opportunities, and those include 3 upcoming admitted student day events. The first being this coming Saturday, February 21st. We have a Saturday event on March 28th, and then Sunday, April 19th. So all admitted student day events where you can come to campus, do a campus tour, get to see a residence hall, chat with faculty and staff, hear more about your program. So lots of really great opportunities to visit campus. And Brian, do you want to talk about some of our Cardinal Days and other visit options as well?
For sure. So on top of our accepted student days, we have Cardinal Days where you get to sit on an actual class. You get to meet with your admissions counselors, have lunch with our great students, ideally that are in your program or in a specific program similar to what you want to study. Or we can do a Zoom appointment. So if you want to chat with one of us about your financial aid award, about your acceptance, about the program you've been accepted to, you can go in and find our calendar links and you can sign up for an appointment and we can chat.
Awesome, and I see we continue to have some new viewers hopping in. So for those of you just joining, welcome. This is one of our Ask Us Anything, so please feel free to drop any and all questions in the chat box, and we will answer those as they come in. If there's any questions that are a little bit more specific or that we're not able to answer today during our session, you're welcome to DM our admissions page here, or send the account an individual message, and we're welcome to, we'll get back to you as soon as possible as well. So wanted to just also talk through kind of, if you are an admitted student, what are some next steps that you can be thinking about and doing in the next few months. So one of those is really reviewing your financial aid package and making an appointment with your admissions or financial aid counselor. If you and your family have any questions about kind of estimated cost of attendance, what different loan options are, scholarship options. So that's a really great next step. If you haven't yet filed a FAFSA and your family is planning on doing so, you'll want to make sure that you're going to the studentaid.gov website and submitting your 26-27 year FAFSA. And our admissions and financial aid office review those on a daily basis, and we'll be processing those packages regularly.
Yeah, and then us as counselors are happy to chat through those, as well as our financial aid counselors. So once you get your financial aid award, if you want to go into your applicant portal, and go ahead and request a meeting with us or send us an email. We're always happy to chat through the award and kind of what everything means on it, and see what the cost is and go from there.
Awesome. And for those of you who might be tuning in who haven't yet applied, maybe you're a high school sophomore, junior. I know it's mass school vacation week, so for some of those viewers who maybe are having a restful week off, but some things to keep in mind. So in addition to visit opportunities for admitted students, we do have weekly or daily visit options as well. So most weekdays we have campus tours, information sessions, as well as individual meetings with admissions and financial aid representatives. So if it's maybe a first college tour for you or you're starting to do the process, definitely take a look on our website at what days might work for you, and you can schedule a campus visit directly on our website or by going to the links in our admissions Instagram page. I see we have one question. I see a grad questions, which is wonderful. Grad is a little bit separate. So as we explained, we're both undergrad counselors. What I would recommend is for our PA program, that's my colleague Christine Kademi. So you can email Christine directly If the question is a little bit specific to the pre-med PA, kind of master's PA program, it sounds like is maybe the question, I would recommend getting in touch with one of the grad counselors specifically for PA. That would be Christine.
Especially for orientation dates, just because the two orientations are separate. So I see your question is specific to orientation. So if those aren't published yet, they should be soon, and Christine would know the answer to those for sure.
Awesome. Again, for those just hopping in, feel free to ask any specific questions in the chat, and we'll get to those as those come in. And happy to really answer any questions folks have at this time. Awesome. For the juniors, we'll be starting a lot of our spring travel, so hopefully meeting some of you on the road. As we mentioned, we all have kind of a specific recruitment territory, so looking forward to connecting with some of you. But again, we're always reachable via email, in person for a campus visit, potentially at a college fair, and for campus visits too, for folks who might be hopping in who are from further out, you're welcome to set up a Zoom appointment as well. For those who are juniors, Brian, do you want to talk through some of kind of the application requirements, how that would work for students who haven't yet applied or maybe would be applying next fall?
For sure. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard this from your school counselors. The Common App is probably the easiest way to apply, although we do have our own internal application as well. The Common App is great because it allows you to fill out all of the different information, your essay, any supplemental questions you might have to answer, all of your clubs and activities. And it's your spot to really brag about yourself, right? So make sure that you include all those different great activities that you guys do, whether it be working, playing sports, if you're in specific health-related clubs or just different clubs in high school. Certainly add those to your Common App. And then in addition to the Common App, we do require at least one letter of recommendation. If you have more, then that's fantastic. Send them on over. And then your high school transcript as well. So that's something that we'll talk more about as kind of we flip into the next year. But just start thinking about, as you start looking at the different schools you might want to apply to, what all of those different requirements are, as well as starting to think about maybe some scholarships that you might want to apply to down the road as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Outside scholarships, whether it's next year or for students who have already applied, outside scholarships are a great way to potentially cut down that cost of attendance. It's something I know a lot of high school counselors maybe have already put on your radar. Two websites that we strongly encourage our students to look at are fastweb.com and careeronestop.org. They are both great scholarship resources where students can create an account and get live updates on when new scholarships are available that might pertain to them. And both of those resources are also very healthcare specific. So being, a pharmaceutical and health sciences institution, it would be a great resource to kind of look at what scholarships might pertain to you, submit an application, and then usually in the springtime is when external scholarship organizations start letting students know about that.
Awesome. And I see we have another comment in the chat. It's more so a comment than a question, but we have a student that's really interested in nursing. I figured, Elenna talks about nursing. If you guys come to one of our accepted student days and you go to a nursing session, Elenna will probably be the counselor that'll be in the session.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those who aren't aware, our nursing program operates on a 3-year accelerated timeline. So that's something that many of our programs here at MCPHS have. Nursing specifically for a traditional undergrad student who's graduating high school and starting out in our nursing program, it's on a 32-month timeline. So for years 1 and 2 in their program, students take courses in the fall, spring, and summer. That third and final year, it's a fall and a spring component. How that program progresses as well is year 1 is more of the pre-professional program, and then beginning year 2 and 3 is when students progress into the BSN professional bachelor's in nursing curriculum. And that's when students are spending a lot of time in our nursing simulation lab, which is a wonderful facility in which students get to work with these high fidelity mannequins that are very lifelike and allow them to feel really comfortable upon going on to their clinical sites. Right here in the Longwood medical area, we're super fortunate with the vast number of clinical affiliations we have between Boston Children's, Brigham and Women's, Dana-Farber, Beth Israel, just to name a few. And so for nursing students, starting years 2 and 3 is really when those clinicals start to ramp up. And then students graduate with their RN as a registered nurse after that 3-year program. So definitely, the timeline might differ than some other nursing programs you could be looking at, but definitely want to make that distinction as well due to the accelerated nature of the program.
Awesome. I also see a question that could actually be for undergrad or graduate, but it talks about when would other college transcripts and courses be evaluated. So if you are a student that's taken either AP courses or dual enrollment courses with another institution, that process, I believe, takes place over the summer. We look at what classes you've taken and to see where credit can be awarded. Even if it can't change, different the types of courses it come in as, perhaps it could come in as an elective, and that kind of goes by a case-by-case basis. So if you end up depositing, your specific admission counsel will reach out to you later on in the spring, and we'll go ahead and do a transfer credit evaluation for that. I'm just monitoring the chat here.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions rolling in. It all happens at once, usually.
And we have a question about radiography, the radiography program and the tuition. That would essentially be, again, with tuition, part of what we have is we have fees that are kind of compiled through, whether it be lab fees, different course fees, and that kind of all goes into the one big cost of tuition. So the room and board, the tuition, you kind of have the whole cost of attendance. So if you want to go ahead and request to do a financial aid appointment with your specific counselor through your applicant portal, you can go ahead and we can chat through that. You can talk about what the cost would be, whether you're living on campus, whether you want to live on campus during the summer if you're a local student, because the different programs do have some different costs associated with them as well.
Yep, and radiography too is similarly on that 3-year timeline.
Sure.
So anything for folks who are maybe still considering what their major might be, anything in our School of Medical Imaging, with the exception of radiation therapy, does fall on that 3-year accelerated timeline. Nursing similarly has that structure, and then our dental hygiene and dental hygiene pre-dental programs. So if those are any of the programs you might be looking at, just kind of preparing and knowing that your timeline might look a little bit different. However, you are still pursuing a full bachelor's degree in that timeline. And so in many ways, in terms of return on investment, having a really wonderful salary immediately post-grad, it's really wonderful to know that right away after that 3-year program, you're going to be a working professional and having a full-time salary. Also with any of our medical imaging programs, so including sonography, radiography, as I know the question was about, and MRI, all of those programs in the last 5 years, we've had a 100% job placement rate immediately upon graduating. So again, there's really such a high demand in the world of imaging right now, and again, not too many programs out there that do educate students to get a bachelor's degree in those areas. So something to be excited about and definitely keep in mind throughout your college search process as well.
Yeah, and having, again, the third year kind of self-explanatory, but graduating a year ahead of your peers, it's going to put you on a track to be off and running sooner, than the traditional 4-year program.
Yep, and all of the tuition and fees as well as curriculum pages are publicly posted on the website. The curriculum tab on each of our major pages is a great way to kind of map out what your exact coursework is going to look like. As an incoming freshman, that schedule is set for you, which is really nice, kind of takes some of the pressure off of having to actually register in your classes and figure out exactly what you're going to take. Because we are a comprehensive healthcare university, there are some, strict classes and requirements in order to meet licensure standards, especially in those clinical-based programs. So what's really wonderful is that our advising team registrar's office sets that schedule for you. And then, as Brian mentioned before, with college credits and APs and things like that, we can always kind of review in the summer on a case-by-case basis, and you're always welcome to connect with admissions if there are individualized questions in that area as well.
Yeah, awesome. I haven't seen any more questions pop in the chat, but we can maybe talk a little about campus life if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can talk about clubs and organizations, we can talk about housing. So if anybody has any questions about maybe housing on campus or different clubs and organizations we have here, feel free to drop any questions into the chat. And then, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So for those of you who maybe haven't visited campus or aren't as familiar with exactly where we are, we're located right in the Longwood medical area, very close to Fenway area as well. And something I always like to highlight is our not only clinical affiliations with the hospitals, but then also our involvement with the colleges of the Fenway Consortium. We're really fortunate that we border essentially 4 other colleges and universities right here, including Emmanuel College, Simmons, Wentworth Institute of Technology, and then Mass College of Art and Design. Our students have the amazing ability to cross-register in elective courses that might fit into their schedule amongst these other COF schools. If there's ever a club or extracurricular that our students want to take part in, we have about 100 clubs and organizations of our own here at MCPHS, but there are lots of ways to meet students across the different schools. Same thing too with there might be, in terms of library spaces or residence halls, times when you're meeting folks across the different schools. So we find, working here at MCPHS, that the city of Boston really becomes campus for our students. Boston is one of the biggest, college cities in the country. So the pure number of colleges and universities right in our area really aids itself well to students meeting other young, college-age professionals in the area, and so many, too, college discounts for college students, also discounted MBTA pass, given that we're right located on the Green Line. I feel like I'm probably missing some things. I don't know.
The community that you're going to have is not just going to be your MCP students, right? It's going to be students that are from other colleges that maybe have different backgrounds from what they study, right? And that really helps when it comes to kind of building your connections, building your network, and all those great things. So you're going to have a really good group of friends here at MCPHS, but also maybe beyond as well.
Absolutely, yeah. And, in terms, too, of those clinical affiliations, that potentially might lead to a job opportunity down the line where you've interned or you've shadowed or done a full clinical at some of these medical institutions. However, then, that might create a job opportunity in the future. I know currently at Beth Israel alone, we have over 400 MCPHS alums currently working at that one hospital. So really, again, that number speaks to the professional affiliations, how much faculty are involved with our students. Something else, too, that definitely want to highlight is some student support services on campus. If you want to talk through kind of some of the different, whether it's case or career, advising and things like that.
For sure. I think specifically, there's a bunch of different ones. Case is great because if you need help with tutoring or just academic support or any sort of work with your academic coach, academic advising, they're very helpful. Also the Career Development Center. So when it comes to doing mock interviews, when it comes to doing resumes, when it comes to doing cover letters or elevator pitches for those different social events that Elenna was talking about, or networking events, you kind of have that little head start there, right? If you want to go in and apply for an on-campus job, you want to update your resume, or when you're maybe graduating, looking to go into the field for the first time, going and making sure that everything looks really good in your resume, they're going to be the office to go to, right? So we're going to have a lot of support from day one to days after you graduate here on campus.
Absolutely, yeah. That's, the benefit, too. We're small to medium-sized universities, so that hands-on support, small class sizes, small clinicals, really aids itself really well for our students. Just going to, maybe we have time for potentially one or two more questions if folks have them. Again, lots of really exciting visit opportunities, so the conversations don't need to end today. Hopefully this was super helpful for those of you tuning in, but for those who maybe hopped in a little bit later, just as a reminder, we're at the point in the year where we're hosting tons of admitted student day events. We have a spring open house coming up for prospective students, and then this summer we'll be having numerous other visit opportunities as well. As a reminder, you're able to register for any of these on-campus visit opportunities directly through your MCPHS portal. For those of you who are admitted students, you can find the links in our MCPHS admissions page that you're all on right now, or by sending an email or giving us a call to our main admissions email or number, and we're happy to register you directly as well. So again, that includes our admitted student day event this coming Saturday, February 21st. Our Saturday, March 28th Admitted Student Day, and finally our Sunday, April 19th Admitted Student Day, and then lastly we have one spring open house which falls on Saturday, March 14th. So lots of upcoming visit opportunities. We definitely hope to see you on campus sometime soon. I don't think we had any final questions.
Any more questions? I'm monitoring the chat. Yet. But if anything pops up, like I said, email us. All of our information is on your applicant portal or on the website. We'd love to chat with you, whether it be about financial aid, whether it be about student life. We'd love to have you come to campus, go sit in on a class, come to an accepted student day. There's still tons of time left before making that decision, so we want to make sure that you go ahead and feel like you have all the information that you need.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope to see you on campus sometime soon, and we hope for those of you on mass school vacation that you enjoy the rest of your time off this week. Have a great rest of your day.